All right, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Thursday's Market SITREP. Also, a member position update and a hopefully everybody else who's listening, you are realizing the error of your ways and will become a member at the end of this brief. Folks, look at the VIX today, up 18%. The other night, in a free full throttle live training session, what did we cover? We covered getting long volatility. Look at this. What did I say? Full throttle Tredge training. Trade and hedge before it's too late. Literally the next day and today, folks. Those trades that we covered Wednesday night are up $7,600 as of me recording this. Let me let that sink in. If you attended Wednesday night and you looked at me saying, hey man, it is time to Tredge, what did we talk about the other night? I said volatility is going to remain elevated. And what happened? Not only is it staying elevated, it is going higher, and it's going higher even more. I'm telling you this, folks. So breaks my heart. If you did not attend the free full throttle briefs, folks, we looked at a bear call spread in EWZ that's up $450. Let me pull up the EWZ. We covered that on Tuesday. Look at this. We sold right into this pop on the EWZ. Right there. Boom. Rip your face off rally. Sold right there on Tuesday. That trades up, as of this recording, $450 since Tuesday. So now we're looking at over $8,000 in potential profit this week on trades that we covered. I'm going to talk about Raytheon, Amazon, CSX, and a bunch of other stuff for current members. But folks, if you did not get on board full throttle this week, I really need to know why. We nailed this. We nailed this Wednesday night. I said vol's going to stay elevated and go higher. I showed you 3 trades: long VIX calls, a VXX bull put spread, and then what we call a burner trade. Now, if you're sitting here kicking yourself, you should. You need to, if you want to go watch the replay about what you missed, you can do that. Head to go.topgunoptions.com/FT replay. The replay from, yesterday's joint solo Amazon and Accelerate Retirement got lost in the GoTo webinar ethosphere. So this is why I'm shooting this video. So my apologies. A couple folks emailing support like, hey, where's the video? It's kind of what we wanted to know as well. So that's why I'm doing this video, to catch up on what we did yesterday, and also to ask folks who aren't members yet, what are you waiting for? Hopefully, if you're not a member or you didn't grab your slot, it's because you knew to do all of this stuff Wednesday and Thursday, and you are up $7,600. If you are, send me your resume. I doubt it. So you got to get airborne, folks. Go.topgunoptions.com/getft. One more time, go.topgunoptions.com/getft. We have annual memberships and monthly memberships. The annual is obviously a better deal. The monthlies, you just kind of click on this image and it'll take you to the order form. $195 a month, folks. Went and got a bottle of 1942 the other day. It was about $120, $125 for almost a bottle of for what a bottle of 1942 costs. You can get airborne with a monthly subscription. Like I've said, I can drag you to water. I can't make you drink. This is and you ready for this? And then we're going to get in our current members. I'm going to brief you on our positions and stuff like that. But look at this. We predicted this. We predicted that. We predicted we chop around the 50-day, and I said if we don't hold this chop around the 50-day moving average, what did I say we're going to do? The market doesn't hang out between moving averages, folks. We are going down to the 200-day moving average. So those volatility trades, those Tredges that are up nearly $8,000 right now, if we go down to the 200-day moving average, those things are going to potentially double in value. How's $16,000? So as all our other positions, our long January 21 positions are getting a little hammered, they're Jan 21 positions, folks. They're going to come back. This is another poke for the folks that aren't members. We're going to cover next week and in the coming weeks brand new long-term bullish trades out to January of 2021. So if you loved Amazon, XLY, Visa, MGM, all of our positions up here, you're going to add to them, or it's time to get into those. Okay, so I'm done. I'm done with the selling. I think the only other thing I got to bring up is some of you did ask about our solo Amazon service. This is $97 a month. So actually, this is cheaper than the bottle of 1942 tequila. For $97 a month, or a nice 25% discount for the $897 annually, you get access to what we call our solo Amazon service. All day, all night, that's what we talk about is trading Amazon. But in little parentheses after this, I'm going to put XLY. Why? because the XLY is currently made up of 25% Amazon shares. So it's a good proxy for solo Amazon, or I'm sorry, for the Amazon stock. It's also got Nike in there, Starbucks, and some other potential good names. But I'm going to teach you how to either just trade Amazon or just trade the XLY and see some pretty good profits. I sold some short calls yesterday in Amazon. So even though my big Amazon position is taking a little bit of a hit, folks, that's out to Jan 21. So right now, in one day, I made $880, nearly $900 in a day, just 94%, just selling some upside calls, right? So I'm going to teach you how to do this. So even though, your long position's getting hammered, you bring in money so when Amazon does turn around, and I'm not worried about it at all. Remember, Amazon's a magnet, just like the indices, right? It's a magnet stock. So it likes 1950, 2000, and likes 1850, 1800. So we're going to head down. We're going to hang around this 1800 level. But Amazon is Amazon, folks. Enough said. The link to get into this service is pretty easy to remember. Go.topgunoptions.com/ you ready for it? Solo. Not Han Solo, but Solo. Go.topgunoptions.com/solo. So if you're looking to dip your toe in the water and just kind of maybe check out one live trade brief, this is the cheapest way to go. If this is your last $97, don't do it. But for $97, man, to check us out for a full month in our solo Amazon service, if you can't see that that's a good deal, don't sign up for anything here at Top Gun Options because you don't understand a good trade when you see it, period. And I mean that with all the weight behind it as well. All right, members, here we go. Let's get let's knock out a strategic and operational brief, then we'll review current positions. So yesterday, as he left the House Financial Services Committee, Mr. Mnuchin said what? The president and Xi are going to meet at the end of June. What we were in the live trading session yesterday, what did we immediately look at? We looked at the VIX, we looked at FXI. What happened with FXI when Mnuchin said, hey, they're going to maybe meet? Nothing. Why? Because nobody believes we're done. The days of Mnuchin, Kudlow, Trump, Lighthizer, Mulvaney saying something positive and the market reacting to it are over. It is down right now to Xi Jinping and Trump figuring this out. So conditions, the Chinese said today, conditions aren't right for a Trump-Xi meeting next month. The Chinese also said trade talks can't continue unless the U.S. addresses its wrong actions. What did Xi Jinping say a day and a half ago? China is embarking on a new long march, signaling no end to the trade war soon. Mnuchin again today. Next round of U.S. tariffs on China at least a month away. Folks, we're going lower. This trade war is heating up. I really hope you attended Wednesday night's brief and you got your Tredges on. We did. And they're printing as I speak. The sell-off is accelerating, and those profits are accelerating. Love it. Love what we're doing here at Top Gun Options. It's funny that the Chinese says we need to address our wrong actions as opposed to 40 to 50 years of sticking it to us and the U.S. taxpayer and the U.S. consumer. Those days are over with, man. Love or hate the president, he's doing right here. This is one area where even Chuck Schumer and Democrats were like, hey, man, don't back down to the Chinese. Chuck gets it. It ain't his first rodeo. So this is good, but it's going to hurt markets for a while. But if you're trading options, folks, and if you're here at Top Gun Options, you can potentially make money whether the market's going up, down, or sideways. Market starts heading lower and accelerating, we're going to pound this thing into the dirt. Market pulls out and goes bullish, we'll get bullish. Market moves sideways, we're going to move sideways with it. But never, ever, ever lose sight. And this, we talked about this the other day, trading a trade battle. Markets don't appear ready for that. We are. We've been trading the hell out of this market. Michael Metcalf, head of global macro strategy at State Street Global Markets. A lot of words there. You ready? What we've learned in the last few weeks is this is a genuine negotiation, and both sides appear willing to what? Walk away. The biggest, positive you have on your side negotiations is walking away. When you're going to buy a car, you know what? I'm good. We're going to leave. Oh, hold on. It's a credible threat, and markets don't appear ready for that. Folks, Donald Trump is begging to be impeached by the Democrats. We'll get to that in a couple seconds. And he's got two boogeymen. He's got a boogeyman with China, and he's got a boogeyman with the Fed. 6 weeks ago, Top Gun Options beat everybody everybody in the market with this prediction. Just like we predicted the election of Trump, we predicted the market rally, we predicted the FANG implosion. Oh, and by the way, bail. Short the hell out of the FANGs right now. Apple is done for a long time, man. iPhones are now embarrassing in China as the trade war deepens. It's kind of embarrassing to pull out an iPhone nowadays. The Chinese people are starting to turn against Apple. Couldn't watch Game of Thrones in China the other night. Why? You know what they were playing instead of Game of Thrones? Anti-American war movies. Apple down another 2% today. This is done, folks. This thing's rotten, pounded into the dirt. A year and a half ago, I said to get out of these FANGs. Tesla, I told you to get out of. This thing's going. This is a Ponzi scheme, and that's going, like Morgan Stanley said this week, to $10. It's not even worth that. But never, ever, ever forget, folks, that this ain't about trade. What are you talking about, Wiz? Well, I'm quoting a Chinese admiral who said, this ain't about trade. This is definitely not simply friction over economics and trade. This is about our strategic dominance in the world. We're done with. We could sink two U.S. aircraft carriers, and that's their glass jaw. We hit them right there. They're done. Americans don't like losses. They're talking about war, folks. If this was Barack Hussein Obama, Clinton, Bush, what would we be doing right now? We wouldn't be doing this. China enraged after U.S. sails 2 destroyers through the Taiwan Strait. Freedom of navigation patrols. You don't own that, China. Yeah, we do. Under 8 years of Obama, we took all of that over and said it's ours. And you did nothing. So don't sail your ships through here now. Well, dudes, not only are we going to sail our ships through there, we're going to fly some B-52s through there. We're going to fly our Joint Strike Fighters. Freedom of navigation. Ladies and gentlemen, there's the Taiwan Strait. China says what? Taiwan is a renegade province, and we're taking it back. United States says that's an independent country. Let me sell you some F-16s and some M1 Abrams battle tanks. How's that going to end, folks? Chinese saying we're taking this island back. This is our renegade province. And the United States, we have a Defense of Taiwan agreement, ladies and gentlemen. I've taken part in Defense of Taiwan exercises. What do? This is not about trade, folks, but it is about a war. We got pulled into the war with the Japanese. Why? Oil, folks. Trade and economic issues cause men to do horrific things to each other. We've got to keep an eye on that, ladies and gentlemen. So stocks, bonds, everything's falling amid trade tensions. How many times have we seen these headlines? Stocks fall among trade tensions. Stocks rise on trade agreement hopes. Hope and fear are driving this market. Hope and fear are driving this market. We like fear. As an American, don't like fear. As Gordon Gekko from Wall Street, greed is good. Fear is great. We love fear as an options trader because volatility goes higher. At the beginning of the year, I used it, actually, November, December of last year, I used an acronym to describe what's going to happen this year, and we nailed it. It was called FIROC, F-I-R-O-C, right? The F in FIROC was what? Say it with me, the Fed. I told you this year the Fed was going to be absolutely critical. They caused the market sell-off on October 3rd. They caused the market recovery in December. And now the president is pounding the hell out of Jerome Powell to cut rates and add quantitative easing into the market so we can win this trade war. The I in FIROC was what? Say it with me, impeachment. What happened yesterday? I'm not even going to get into it. How disgusting. Before heading over to the White House to meet on what? Infrastructure? She told reporters on the way to the White House the president's engaged in a cover-up and blah, blah. I mean, seriously? And you don't think this guy's going to react the way he reacted? He didn't have a temper tantrum. Nancy and Chuck are used to like saying and MFing somebody to a camera and then, being behind closed doors and, being able to work stuff. That's why we hate politicians and we think you're gross because you're two-faced. You're a liar. President Donald Trump, love him or hate him, he's got no filter. He was waiting for them at the White House, and they're like, he watched Nancy Pelosi before she gets into a car say the dude's involved in a cover-up. He's like, you know what? We're done. I'm not going to work with you with all these investigations going on. So the I in FIROC was that. The R is recession. Now, I put the R in FIROC in October, November, December. Why? Because the Fed, everybody remember what that left side of the chart looked like? So we can ditch the R right now, but look back at time. If the Fed didn't do, so here's October 3rd, Jerome Powell, we're going to raise rates. I'm going to do my job. The economy's on fire. Holy shnikes. Around here was when I put the R in that. So the FIR, Fed impeachment recession, you can ditch the R. What's the O in FIROC? Oil. Anybody know what's going on with Iran? My old aircraft carrier, the USS Abraham Lincoln, I have over 200 landings aboard her, is operating outside the Strait of Hormuz and is ready to sail through the Strait of Hormuz into the Arabian Gulf and poke at the Iranians. And then the C in FIROC is what? We're beating a dead horse here. China. Holy shnikes, folks. So a lot going on, ladies and gentlemen, and we're heading lower. We are absolutely heading lower in this market unless, and I don't even think this is going to do it. You know, some of the financial media who've gotten so much wrong lately, and they still have jobs, have said what? Oh, all it's going to take is one tweet from the president for this thing to go higher. I don't agree with that. Those days are over. A year ago, folks, we had Trump walking out to the helicopter going, just got off the phone with Xi, going to be a great deal. It's going to be awesome. Huge. Nobody does great deals better than me. Awesome. I was like, oh, man, signing this thing in a week. We're a year into this, man. Has anybody seen Larry Kudlow? I think Larry Kudlow is Ruth Bader Ginsburg. I haven't seen either of them. Since this thing imploded, Larry Kudlow, the market whisperer, is gone. I hear he might even be clipped. Larry Kudlow, the once well-known market whisperer, would run out on the White House lawn when we had this type of stuff going on. Anybody seen him? No, you haven't. So there's your strategic and operational brief. Let's get tactical, and I'm going to cover existing positions across the portfolios since you guys did a great job helping us managing the schedule because of the full throttle launch, this next full throttle launch, and getting new potential squadron members on board. And if you're still thinking about joining and you're still hanging out here, you already went and got your slot, man. Seriously. I'm about to get into our existing positions, which are doing phenomenal. Wait, whoa, this market's awful right now. Yeah, that's why you need to sign up, folks. Go.topgunoptions.com/getft. Get full throttle right now and stop sitting on the sidelines. Here we go. This is AR. So last week in AR, we looked at a bear call spread on Raytheon and legging into an iron condor, the 180, 182 and a half. Let's pull up RTN. Raytheon, folks, great. This is one of our good Jan 21 positions. So look at that. Boom. Last week, look at that. This was last week. I sold into that pop. What's that bear call spread at right now? Wait, I think it's down here. The 180, 182 and a half. And that is out to the end of the month, May 31st. So risking 55 to potentially make 2. This thing is a hold. It's right around where we got into it last week. So for all you shoplifters who still haven't become a member, here's a potential free trade out the next Friday. The 180, 182 and a half bear call spread on Raytheon. But we also have an existing bull put spread, so that iron condor is looking pretty good. We also sold the 180 calls to tomorrow. We sold 10 of the May 24th. Tomorrow's 180 calls. What are the 180 calls at right now? May 24, 180 calls. They're at about, 23 cents? Okay. So, wow. 78, you ready for this, guys? 73 minus 28 equals times 10 contracts. So, in a week, we made another $450. Okay. So, technically, there's 3 trades, right? In Raytheon. We got or 4. Bear call spread, bull put spread, the Jan 21 bullish position, and some short calls. So even if you're, Raytheon's moving sideways and stuff like that, you're bringing in coin, folks. For anybody not like making $450? Well, actually, I'm going to hold these until Friday. I'm going to let these things expire. Works those folks, and that would be a potential max profit of what? $780 since last Wednesday. Anybody like making about $800 in a week? 800 times 52 trading weeks. That's about 42 grand, which would be about 75 annualized. I like what we're doing here. Last week, we also sold some CSX calls, the May 31 79s. So that's out the next Friday. Let's bring up CSX. And CSX going right down the fairway with that iron condor. The 79s, right? May 31st. Got short-term memory. 79s at 63 cents. May 31st. Oh, my God. Yeah, they're not even on the screen here. The 79s. At 7 cents. We got into them at 63. Look at that. There's another $600, folks. $550, $600. Added with these Raytheon short calls. There's over $1,000. There's $1,200 in just short calls in existing positions. So again, reiterating that if something's going down or moving sideways, you can bring in a little extra scratch by just selling short calls. Now the bull, we got to take a look at. I think it's in PLTB, a bull put spread on CSX. This, ladies and gentlemen, I am very, very long-term bullish out to Jan 21 on CSX. What did the president say in his temper tantrum news conference at the liberal media? And Pelosi saying, the guy's right. He's like, I have a temper tantrum. You haven't seen me have a temper tantrum. I walked in there and he said, we're not going to be able to do infrastructure if you're going to investigate. Choose. You want to do 2 years investigations, or he's like, and I love the way the guy said this. He said, this is me, infrastructure, man. I build stuff. We're going to be building roads, runways, railroads. I love this stuff. We're not going to do it if we're doing this. So, oh man, does that endanger our Jan 21? No. The Democrats, ladies and gentlemen, Nancy Pelosi's already walking a little. She didn't apologize for yesterday. I mean, she's actually saying, I pray for the president, for his soul, and I hope his family does an intervention. Today, she kind of walked back to the whole impeachment thing. Yesterday, after her caucus meeting and her fire breathers, the people who actually control the Democratic Party, not her anymore, it's the AOCs, the Ilhan Omar from Somalia, Black Hawk Down, and Tlaib, they control the Democratic Party, not her. So she leaves the meeting all fired up, throwing the impeachment word around. He's like, we're done. You're going to have to run in 2020. What did you do in the past 2 years? All you did was legislate. I wanted to build stuff. I wanted to put Americans to work. So if they both back away or go into their corners and can meet in the middle again, CSX obviously will take off. So here's what we can do in the blink of an eye. We can be bipolar, and so can I. We can stay long-term bullish on CSX, but right now I'd pound this thing lower. I would be looking at a bear call spread. Pelosi and Trump and Schumer ain't getting in a room within the next couple weeks to get bullish, to agree on infrastructure. They met, when was it? Back here? They met, and my God, it feels like a year ago. It was, a month ago? They met and said, the president, we agreed. He actually went higher than we did. Everybody remembered that happened? Schumer, Chuck, Nancy? They went to the White House and were actually like, the dude went higher than we wanted for infrastructure. Now, zero. So let's actually take a look at a new trade. You see this chop around here, the 78, 78, 78, 78. Let's go. This thing is not recovering anytime soon. Now, if you're sitting there going, oh, man, my Jan 21, your Jan 21, first of all, if you got into it, when we got into it, is printing money. Where are we? Where's the dude dying? Right there. The time we've been in CSX, it's up 70%, guys. If you added yours recently, I think we did a brief back here a couple weeks ago where I said, hey, for all the new folks, this is the new Jan 21 I would look at today. It might be underwater a little bit, but this is what first of all, we pick names for our long-term bullish that we think are going to be around in a couple of years, and not only around, are going to move up and to the right. The Democrats have to recognize, folks, that infrastructure, the only thing it looks like we could possibly sort of be bipartisan on is this. So I'm going to remain long-term bullish, but let's pound the hell out of it. We can still make money if your long isn't looking hot, we're going to bring in money in the front. I don't feel bad about going out 3 weeks. Let's take a look at this. Let's go. Stop. And this will be, I'll put this in the AR portfolio. 3 months. Stop auto scrolling here. 78 and a half-ish. Let's go out to the beginning. And remember, folks, June 1st, watch the replays on that replay page, even for the members, because I talk about June 1st is a big day. The first week in June is big. The Chinese are supposed to increase fire. And then if they do, the president said, like Mnuchin said, we might go increase fire too. So we might even have to, what's the 50-day moving average? 76 and a half. Maybe 70. We're going to have to go down a little bit. 70, maybe the 70. Let's start 77, 77 and a half. I like this one. This is the one I want. Here we go, guys. The 77, I'm looking to sell 150 of the June 7th 77 calls. That's me saying I don't believe that CSX is above 77 by June 7th. Well, Wiz, what if you're wrong? Between now and June 7th, Nancy and Chuck and Donald all make up. They go grab a drink together. Well, he doesn't drink, but they agree infrastructure. Now it's $3 trillion. Thing has a rip your face off rally. You're wrong. Well, that's good because our Jan 21 is going to print money. See, this is why I tell you to clean up your cockpit and trade in a handful of names. If you just trade the CSX bear call spread and it gets blown out, do not send me an email like, oh my God, I'm pissed, I lost. I'm like, you should have a Jan 21 on and be happy that CSX went up. It's how you need to trade, folks. If I am wrong, I'm buying some 77.5 upside calls, right? That's our hedge. I'm bearish on CSX. I'm using calls and it's a spread. This is the more conservative one. If you're like, dude, this thing, this is going lower still, you could do the 76.5, 77, and it would be a little bit more aggressive. Let's take a look at the metrics of this one first. The 77, 77.5, everybody looks at where? 52.50 first, max potential loss. That's right in line with our SOP of not wanting to risk about $5,000 on any one trade. Don't want to risk $5,000? Don't do $1.50. Want to risk $10,000? Do $300. Can't tell you what to do. That's not my job. I'm here to train you. So now that we say I acknowledge that risk, what's our potential profit? 23. We're risking 53 to make 23, and look at that, a 70% probability of making that max profit. That's a very, very nice looking trade. That's the more conservative one. Let's go with the little bit more aggressive. Okay, it's only $1.50 north of where we are, but folks, remember, you don't catch a falling knife. I'm going to get bullish on it. Nope. I'm going to wait a couple days if it bottoms out and turns, and then maybe we can leg into an iron condor. But right now, this is a falling knife. So this would be the more aggressive trade. The 76.5, 77, look at the metrics on that one. We're going to end up risking 53 to potentially, hang on. Let me go up. Yeah, well, okay, so 14 cents. 77. You know what? Let's just go with the more conservative. Yeah, it's almost the same metrics, guys. So I'm going to go with the more conservative, the 77, 77.5, but I'm going to stay at 14 cents plus or minus. Let's keep it tight. Let's go plus or minus a penny. So the lowest I'd go today is about 13, and the highest I'd take is 15. Outside of that, you got to watch the full throttle training about why I don't like it outside of that range. What's the eject? Everybody say it with me. Double the credit that you take in with. Yep, that's exactly it. So I'd maybe think about ejecting at 28. And remember, CSX turning around, and if it gets to our eject point, it's good. What do you mean that's good, Wiz? Well, first of all, it's good because you're not going to take the max loss. The second of all thing, it's good for that fifth time because you have should have a long-term bullish trade on it. So you got your underlying base position that's printing money, and you cut your loss on this one. Like this trade, this is going in AR, accelerated retirement. Boom, done. Any other ARs that we need to cover? And I'm really bummed yesterday didn't record, man, because we had a good AR and solo Amazon yesterday. Let's take a look. The week before, CSX, the 80. There's another $530. We sold those 80 calls. Yep. There's $530 into our pocket. And then the 76.5, 76, guys. I'm not a roller. I'd get that. Yeah, if this is at the eject point, I would eject out of this one. I wouldn't. What's 76.5, 76, May 31st? I don't think it's recovering above there by now. This would be a good time to eject out of that one. 70. Yep, absolutely. Eject out of this one. Take those losses, and those losses are going to be mitigated by the bear call spread we're at right now. Okay. Let's take a look at Raytheon, the 185. Oh, this one's looking good. May 31st, 185, 187.5. I think we already covered that. Whoops. Picking up Skype, Raytheon. Yeah, 180, 185, 187 and a half. Is it 13 cents? And we are at 59. 59 minus 13 equals times 30 contracts. There you go, $1,400. What's the max potential profit? There's 1380 in there, and it's So this one, guys, this is up about 85%. The max potential profit in this one's 1800. We're at 1400. Go ahead and go on, take the money and run. Why? Well, Wiz, it's got a week and a half left, and you could still make another $200. Do not ever say that again. First of all, nobody's gone broke taking a profit. Second of all, pigs get slaughtered. Third of all, closing this trade out for a nice $1,400 profit does what? It frees up margin. You're gonna that's dead money, folks. Take the money now, take the profit, and go deploy it somewhere else. Go deploy it into the CSX trade that we just talked about. Okay, so covered RTN. And Visa. We have a Visa Iron Condor. I covered this yesterday too, and of course it didn't record. Hang on. I just clicked on the different one. There you go. The 165. This one's great. 165, 167 and a half bear call spread out to tomorrow. Can you say 80 or 90% profit? So Visa. And I said this on Tuesday because somebody asked. I'm like, hey, man, the week ain't over yet, right? We needed it below 165 by Friday. The other day it was like up at 164 and a half, or yesterday it was 164 and a half. Look at that right there. I'm like, hang, it's a hold. I said, don't do anything with this. Boom, down 2% today. So 165, 167 and a half for Friday. And this is this is about 95% profit. Yeah, it's at 4 cents. Look at that. Jeez. 56 times 30. 56 times 30 equals $1,700. Awesome. All right. Anything else on Visa? And the bull put spread that we put on is looking good as well. All right, I think that's all we have for AR, Accelerated Retirement. Put that new CSX in there. EWZ. Let's go to Tuesday's primary live trade brief. What did we do this week? And the PLTB, well, the first thing we did, thank God we did it, we closed our CSX Iron Condor for $3,600. Yesterday, it was up to about 4, and today, well, let me just go through these. Let's do EWZ first. So in Tuesday's primary live trade brief, we looked at next Friday's 40 and a half, 41 on Brazil. Obviously, look at the EWZ. This is awesome. We sold right into this pop. Rip your face off rally. There's Tuesday, man. We sold right into that pop, and where are we? So out to next Friday, the 40 and a half, 41 at 13 cents. The 40 and a half, 41. Sweet. It's 5-6 cents right now. Yeah. There you go. 150 contracts. Whoa, good looking trade. 6 times 150 equals $900. $900 in the EWZ in Wednesday, Thursday, in a day and a half. That is, we still got $900 to go in essentially a week and a half. This is a hold. So this can potentially see a max profit of $2,000 here. And as predicted, I think EWZ is going to give we're going to give at least half this gap back right here. Okay. So good looking EWZ trade from Tuesday, $900 right there. Here's what the overall Iron Condor looks like out to next week. The bull put spread is the 38, 37 and a half. And that's looking fine. We're here at 39. Half the gap is right here, 38, 38 and a half ish. Okay. Let's look at what it is. 38, 37 and a half. 38, 37 and a half. Down here, 10 cents. We got into that like 2 weeks ago at 15 cents. So this one's also up. So the Iron Condor in EWZ is up about $1,800 so far. So the Iron Condor on EWZ is a hold. All right. Let's go back to the main PLTB page and see what else we got to cover. We covered the EWZ. We closed another iron condor a couple weeks ago in CSX for a very, very nice, beautiful. Look at this, guys. I forgot about this. Look right here. 2 weeks ago, yeah, beautiful trades on CSX. Visa. All right, I think we're good with all that stuff. Analyze your trade and also solo Amazon. We have some bull put spreads on Amazon out to June, the middle of June of 19, guys, the 1850, 1845. So here is a discipline moment, right? So covering Amazon real quick, like I said, you should definitely be selling some short calls in a day. There's $900 in short calls that I sold. I sold the 1875s yesterday, and in one day, even though the underlying position's getting hammered, I'm bringing in some nice premium, just selling some upside calls. And I do the same thing out to, let's cover the short call first. Let's take a look at the chart. So Amazon breaking through the 50-day moving average here. So this was support. The 50-day moving average was support. What's support usually turn into a market like this? Turns into resistance. So the 50-day moving average is up there at 1840-ish. And remember, folks, and you'll learn this in our solo Amazon service, Amazon can move $50, $75, $100 literally in the blink of an eye, and it does, or a couple days. This is why the premiums are so juicy in an Amazon. Let's go out the next Friday and take a look. I mean, I told you it likes round numbers. It likes 1800, it likes 1850, it likes 1900, or it could like 1750. It likes those type of round numbers. So let's see if there's any premium in next Friday's 1850, just to sell some short calls. Jeez, there's $1,300 in that just for one contract. Let me take a look at the at the money straddle first. 1810. Let's go out the next Friday and look at the at the money straddle here. And if you're not a member and you're still hanging out and following all this stuff, and you're like, oh my God, I'm drinking from a fire hose, you're going to learn at the money straddle. You're going to learn short calls. You're going to learn our solo Amazon positions. So right now, ladies and gentlemen, the at the money straddle in Amazon is look at that. It's $114. That you can drive a truck through this. Look how much uncertainty is in Amazon options right now. Amazon options are saying, hey, Wiz, by next Friday, Amazon's trading between 1924 and above 17 or 1695. Holy shnikes. No wonder there's premium in the 1850s. Whoa. Let's see what the, but the options pricing, I was going to say, was right. Of course it's right, because that's what the options market is pricing in right now. What are the 1900s pricing at? Sell one of, let's see if there's premium all the way up, essentially $81 from here. Even by next Friday, just selling my one contract. Remember, I have one synthetic stock contract out to June of 21, not even Jan. We went past that, went out to June, bringing in three. Let's do the 1875, because I said they like those type of numbers. 1875 brings in $700 by next Friday, $695. So if you're in the solo Amazon, well, actually, yeah, solo Amazon, let's go ahead and do that. One out the next Friday, the 1875. So one. Let's see if I can do that in this portfolio. So I have to 1875. Now it's up to $700. Oh, yeah, increments of. Let's just do 700. So, yep. Hey, man, Wiz, my long term. Different portfolio. It's eating up my margin. So even you can, the June 21 ain't looking so hot. Doesn't matter, man. By June of 2021, folks, Amazon is a $3,000 stock minimum. So even though there's some red in it right now, what do, man? You make lemonade. We trade spreads on the front months. So what else is in Analyze Your Trade? Oh, man, a couple weeks ago we looked at those SDS calls that the market would roll over. I think that's good. Let me just go over to solo. So this, I didn't say it, the 1850, 1845 bull put spread out to the middle of June is a hold, folks. The middle of June in this market is a world away. June expiration is 1, 2, 3, 4 weeks away. Folks, Amazon can be at 2,200 in 4 weeks. It can be at 1,600. That's why the premiums are so good an option. So make sure you sign up for that solo Amazon service. Remember, if you just signed up for Full Throttle last week, solo Amazon is called solo Amazon because it ain't part of Full Throttle. Okay, so you have to add this if you became a member last week, if you want to be in solo Amazon. And if you're an existing member, I know some people are just in AR or whatever, give the solo Amazon service a try there. Head to go.topgunoptions.com/solo. But in the solo Amazon, last week I sold some 1850 calls that brought in $1,300. So folks, taking quick, almost day trading some of these Amazon short calls is making money, man. I'm lowering my overall cost basis. Last week I did like a 3-day short call trade on Amazon that brought in $1,300. Okay, so we're going to address this next week when we do our solo Amazon brief. Remember, everybody, Monday is Memorial Day, so the market's closed. So we'll do kind of a joint session on on Tuesday. Here's the existing base trade in XLY. Sold some 118 short calls. We got 20 of these. Let's look at some XLY short calls for everybody that's in that trade with me as well. Remember, XLY is a good proxy for trading Amazon. So let's trade, and again, breaking down through the 50-day moving average kind of looks like what? Amazon. Yep, duh. Let's go out to next Friday. What's the middle of the Keltner channel? The one. Now, we can go out a little further. Let's let her leash out a little bit. It's June 7th. That first week in June is going to be very volatile. What's the 115.5? Yeah, I like it. Sell 20 of the June 7 115.5. And that, look at that, folks, in 3 weeks, in 2 weeks, that's bringing in $1,200 on XLY. Okay, the underlying base position might be getting pounded a little bit, but we're going to bring in $1,300 to reduce that cost basis. Right? What else in solo Amazon? We could do a bear call spread. The XLY isn't as volatile. And this one, I meant to cover this one too. This is the 1837.5, 1835. This is definitely a hold. This is out the next Friday. By next Friday, folks, we already looked at the money straddle. There is a well, let's take a look. 1837.5, 1835. It's obviously underwater, and it's not a loss until what? You close the trade. So this is a hold. I have no problem with holding this one out the next Friday. I mean, we are one relief rally against this thing being above water. Okay. Where's my XLY iron condor? No, that's it right there. Could look at a XLY. Maybe, selling bear call spreads against Amazon is a little dangerous unless you really, really, really wait for the trend. Like here, boom, 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 boom. But in the blink of it, look at this, gap lower, pound at the 50, like, oh man, it's going to go lower. And if you did a bear call spread, this thing is volatile. I am okay with doing bear call spreads on like an XLY because it's not as volatile. Because remember, it's got 19 other names in it. 25% Amazon, but we got Nike, Target, Starbucks, GM, Booking Holdings, or whatever it's called. Let's go out the next Friday and just see what we can see. Maybe the 115.5. Yeah, I like that. 13 cents. All right, guys. Here's the XLY bear call spread. 150 of the May 31. XLY 150, 115, 115.5 at 13 cents. And quick review of the metrics there. That's risking 56 to make 2. Look at that, man. 74% probability of $2,000 in a week on XLY. So the options market is saying, hey, man, this thing's most likely going lower or staying where it is. So I like definitely a nice trade for the XLY. This is a semi-decent standalone trade too. Okay. So short calls, XLY, bear call spread. It's the sell 150 of next Friday's 115 calls, and as a hedge, buy some upside calls, the 115 and a halves. We can always talk in the training sessions about maybe doing 75 contracts and $1 wide in case your broker sucks and he's just taking you to the cleaners with a per contract fee. Longer discussion, but this is the trade I like. Let's go 13 cents plus or minus a penny for today. So the lowest I'd go is 12, the highest I'd go is 14, and obviously the eject would be double the credit that I take in. And remember, if this thing does come, oh my geez, XOI turned around and it's getting close to my eject, okay, cut your losses, but you should be happy because your underlying XLY out to Jan 21 is green. So we like that one. Okay. All right, guys. I think I covered just about everything. I know that was long, but that was needed since we were supposed to shove off, to use my nautical terms, yesterday. But tides and tropical storms and all sorts of stuff out there. We changing the boat schedule here. So I wanted to, and I know folks had probably already split or doing stuff. So instead of doing a live trade brief, I figured I'd shoot this video and you can watch it at your leisure. So let me go. I'm going to blast these out via text, and then I'm going to put a screenshot of the individual trades in those portfolios as well. All right, so let me do this, and I will see you guys next week on Tuesday at 1 o'clock. One last call, folks. If you made it this far and you're like, man, I'm missing a lot, you are. Go.topgunoptions.com/getft. That stands for Get Full Throttle. Grab your annual or your monthly slot. The offer that I made Monday night to early birds or earlier adopters is gone. You cannot get that quarterly offer anymore. And if you just want to dip your toe in the water and do $97 a month to just see us trade Amazon and XLY, $97 or $897 a year, go.topgunoptions.com/solo. Have a great rest of your day. Happy hunting. Make sure you hedge. And I will see you Tuesday in the joint weekly options primary live trade brief. God bless.